Oh, another companion. Oh, I've seen her.
My name is Arueshalae.
Ruby eyes watch you cautiously from behind the iron bars. A woman with a delicate face, horns on her forehead, and broad wings bring behind her back is trying to unlock the door with the long nails. Noticing you, she stops and raises her hand timidly in a greeting. You are pretty right. So okay, yeah. Too much perception. Okay, yeah. Recognize her voice. It's the same woman who sent the message to Desna's priest in Canabrius, warning of the impending demon attack. In the destroyed temple of Desna, you heard a message from mysterious woman warning of an attack on Canabrius. Who are you?
Your eyes do not deceive you. I am a demon. But I swear, I fight the forces of the abyss just like you. Desna helped me understand how disgusting the life of a succubus is. For the last few years, I've been passing the demon's plans to the Crusaders and running sabotage operations. I even tried to warn Canabrius of the attack. That's what got me locked in this cage.
You didn't cure?
A demon on the path to redemption? If she's not lying, this is a true miracle. Of course, it's hard to trust a demon, but Goddess, I beg you, let this be true.
She's
An
awesome.
experiment on one's own nature. How interesting. My sincere respect, my honorable colleague. Do keep me informed about the results.
A repentant demon? Of course. Don't tell me you believe a single word from her filthy lips.
Hold on there, Richie. Why should I believe a demon?
You have no reason to trust me. I am a succubus, which means no matter how believable my words are, all of them could be a sweet lie. Even if I swear by Desna that I'm on your side, it would be wiser not to trust me. But I am not trying to lead you to evil. I won't promise an easy way to defeat the demons and then lead you into a trap. I am not offering any deals. I only ask for one thing. Let me out of this prison. I will leave and never bother you again.
Didn't you try to warn the people Canabrius about the attack?
That was me. Ever since I went over to the Crusaders' side, I've been sending them information about the demons' plans. Sadly, my warnings didn't help save Canabrius.
You were free?
This was ill-considered.
Hold on there, brother.
We're here, not giving her a chance to return and stab us in the back.
I get it. Taking pity on monsters and freaks is just something you do. Not that I'm complaining, of course.
Thank you. I will not ask you for anything else, and I will offer nothing in return. You'd only think I was trying to hurt you. I will leave, and you will never see me again.
Let me see the model. Leave.
Farewell.
Interesting. How about this direction? Day 9, month Neth 11. Dreams have puzzled the minds of mortals since ancient times. Strangely, the most obvious explanation of the mystery of dreams has appeared quite recently. The most obvious, but obviously wrong one, is that dreams are but the delirium of a tired mind as it digests the day's events. Ancient humans were much smarter when they thought dreams were messages of good patrons, or the opposite, the interventions of demonic powers. In this case, both hypotheses are correct, illogical as that may be. Commandus is asleep. In his anxious dream, he sees stained stones, smoking torches, rusty chains and bars. Once again, he is in the dungeons of Dresden, chained in a cell. Huge demons lumber around, clawing the filthy walls with a horrifying sound. Death in their final jaws seem imminent, but more painful still is the expectation of tortures that never begin. Unable to move, barely conscious in a horrible semi-delirium, the commander waits for whatever will happen next. The silence, broken only by the sound of rough claws against rusty bars, weighs on the mind like a boulder. The fever of endless expectation is broken by a whisper, a gentle breath of fresh air in the stifling darkness. The ruby eyes of a demoness peer at the commander through the bars. She is similar to the other creatures of the abyss, but also entirely dissimilar. Remember me? I am Arueshalae. You gave me the gift of freedom. Now I will set you free. The chains... Oh, that's the companion! Fuck! The chains holding the commander's body crumble to dust. The dark visitor takes a step toward him, passing through the bars as easily as if they were made of paper, and holds out her hand. Fly with me. In response, the commander can only mumble, I've been expecting you. Yeah. And I have come. The dungeon disappears. Now the demoness and the commanders are flying over a moonlit plain. Enemies are hunting. Oh, look at them! Look at them go! Ah, damn it. Enemies are hunting you. Demons that have somehow acquired unusual powers that are unprecedented among common demons. You are also hunting them. You are trying to figure out who is sending them and where the source of their power lies. I will show you where to find the answer. A finger with a manicured claw points down to a cliff top, where stands an ancient fortress slowly crumbling to dust. A bell with a tongue, an instant crone. Make it speak once more, and she won't be able to keep her silence either. She will give you all the answers. Wake up and try to understand what happened in the dream. Look at her smile. Demon's heresy. Okay, let's go. The images fade away. The commander opens his eyes and whispers a word. Alien brought by the passing dream. Wingates. The name of the fortress. If the demon is to be believed, what a curious notion. There is a deranged crone hiding there who knows where the demons with these unheard of abilities are coming from. It will be intriguing to learn who this crone is, what she knows, and whether this dream is but a trick to lure the commander into another trap. But you cannot find out without visiting the place from the dream. Wingates has been revealed. Basically. Oh, here the companion. Oh, very good. You heard my call. Arueshalae. Demoness looks down at you from atop the crumbling fortress wall, the same demon you freed from the dungeon in Dresden, the one who appeared in your dream. You are able to observe her properly for the first time, noting her delicate features. The demoness is stunning, but her eerie and unnerving beauty bears only the slightest trace of humanity. God damn it. Thank you for heeding my call. I did not think you would come. In a flash of insight, you see that Arueshalae was partly hoping that you wouldn't respond to her summons. Why do you call me here? I want to help you. You want to know where... Wait. In a flash of insight, you see that Arueshalae was partly hoping that you wouldn't respond to her summons. I want to know where the demons with unusual powers are coming from. There's a creature hiding in the fortress right now who is privy to the demon's schemes. Catch her and she will tell you what you want to know. Her wings are so pretty, I like her. Legion Pass. You wear a symbol of Desna around your neck. Swear on her name that you are telling the truth. I swear it, I am on your side. If I'm planning something wicked, may Desna strike me down where I stand. Who are you? I'm a demon, Succubus, a succubus who has killed many mortals. But beyond that, I am also a heretic. I betrayed the demons, cursed their lords, forswore their beliefs and works, and joined the side of the mortals. Why are you helping me? I have been helping the Crusaders for the last few years. I spy on the demons, I kill them, I sabotage their weapons, I pass on information about their plans to the mortals via the priests of Desna and Cannabis. I do all this because she dropped her gaze and ends in a need whisper. I don't want to be one of them. Why should I trust you? I don't know. The Succubus throws up her hands. I'm a demon, and I know this looks an awful lot like a trap. Everything I'm telling you could be a well-crafted lie. I have done nothing to deserve your trust. You're doing yourself no favors here, love. You really need to work on your sales pattern. Let's say I believe you. What then? There is a hag by the name of Jaronica hiding in this fortress. She lived here before the fall of Sarkoris, but when the demons arrived, she was happy to throw in her lot with them. This senile-old cannibal knows many secrets, including the one you seek. Beware, you are dealing with a creature that is very old, very devious, and very dangerous. She may not be a demon, but she can move like one. If you hesitate, she will slip from your grasp before you even know it. Fortunately, there is a relic of Desna in this very fortress. The Bell of Mercy will help you catch the hag, like a cat in a mouse trap. No, wait, you don't say that, do you? Like a mouse in a cat trap. Never mind. What matters is that you must catch her. The right way to say it is mouse in a mousetrap. Yep, but I can see how you got confused. All those boring words, I get them mixed up all the time too. What if everybody said, catch a bee in a bear trap? Bee in a bear trap. Or maybe a moose in a fox trap. A manticore in a unicorn trap. A hedgehog? No, I don't want to catch a hedgehog. They're too prickly. Then how about a rabbit in a goat trap? I was distracted thinking of new combinations rather than paying attention to those around me. Hey, does it sound like we're getting mixed up in something that's really got nothing to do with us? There's some rings and some bell, and some hideous beast, maybe more than one, and we could die over this, over nothing, and then what people are going to say about me once I'm dead, eh? What if the idiot who tried to swipe a rusty old bell? Now that's just shameful. What can you tell me about this, Harry? Do you know that there are different kinds of hags? Jaranika is one of the most terrifying types an Annie's hag. This flesh eater possesses frightening evil magic powers. She is not a demon, but she is far more cunning than many inhabitants of the Abyss. Don't listen to her rigmarole, and don't believe her evasions. Just grab her, put a knife to her throat, and demand straight answers. And don't forget, like demons, she can travel huge distances using magic, but the sound of the bell will stop her from slipping away. Don't listen to her, cure immediately. You've thought of everything, haven't you? I wonder what it is she might tell us. Are you certain you don't hide anything from us, demon? How will this bell help us? It is an ancient relic of Desna. The Crusaders brought it here when there was still hope that Sarkoris could be retaken easily. Then the Woodwood expanded and the Crusaders were forced to retreat, leaving the bell behind. Demons tried to corrupt it or destroy it, but they couldn't. The bell burned them when they touched it. They managed to rip the bell's clapper from it, but they didn't take it far. Look for it, it should be around here somewhere. Desna imbued the bell with powerful protective magic. If you strike it, all demons and their ilk inside the fortress will be unable to move. The hag cannot move, she would not be able to evade you. How do you know the hag would be here? We know each other of old. Actually, that's not quite true. We have never met in person, but I have been tracking her for quite some time. She shows up here and there, but every time I try to pin her down, she vanishes. I hope this time she won't slip away so easily. Arueshalae seems agitated, and you detect a tremor in her voice. It seems hunting this hag means an awful lot to her, but you have a sneaking suspicion that Succubus has not told you the full story. Xanthir said, "Can you help me fight the hag?" With a smile, Arueshalae runs a finger along the string of her bow. Naturally, I understand, let's do it. It does not aid us.
Head on!
Arueshalae, my dear, are you there? You got friends? Good. All the more for me. God, how dare you show up here of all places?
Heartbeat quickens.
Kneel before me.
Holy shit, there was a fuck ton of damage. One hit? 130 how much damage was that? Janik, stop, what are you doing here, Herbert? The beaten hag cowers on the rocks. Gone is the terrifying monster you were just fighting, and in this place is more frightened old woman. Why you treat an old biddy like me so harshly? Haven't you any shame, you great brutes? Ujif can take his eyes off the hideous old crumb. His teeth are shattering. Sorry, Granny, but you better stay down. You laid there on the stones, or you only make it worse for yourself. Don't listen to her, she's just stalling for time. Arueshalae raised her up. What do you know about the demons with the strange abilities? Where are they coming from? Speak! What demons? What are you about? Under Arueshalae's cold gaze, the hag's face breaks into a grandmother's smile. Ah, now those demons, wouldn't they be friends of yours? Are my dear? What are you picking on poor old me for, then? I'd tell you everything I know, but you'd know far more than me on that score. The color drains from Arueshalae's face, and the hag's smile grows wider, stretching from ear to ear. My little chicken, don't tell me I haven't told you new toys all that. Keep it to yourself, did you? The hag burst into screeching laughter before turning her gaze anew. Take pity on an old woman. Let me go before any more harm's done. You better have a word with your little demoness about those demons. You liar! I've never been to the Ziforian sanctum. Actually, this desperate outburst drowned out by another round of cackling from the hag. I just say you've never been. Where? Like you haven't been, is even running. Seeing who comes and who goes, you didn't see all that? My accent of the hag is fucking... You didn't see all that, I suppose you don't even know the password neither, are? The hag looks at you, with demon girls lying through her teeth as usual. Arueshalae, is this truth? You've known all along where the strange demons were coming from? You understand? Arueshalae drops her gaze. I lied to you. I used you. I could have told you where to look for those demons right away, but I needed someone who could help me get rid of the hag. I was freed from the dangers of Dresden. The demons set her on my trail. I could not have dealt with her single-handedly. Hearing this, the old woman lets out a screeching cackle that shakes her whole body. What are you laughing at? It doesn't matter what I've done. You won't be leaving me alive. A demon using lies and manipulation to get what he wants. This does not surprise me. What does surprise me is that you have done this in an attempt to prove that you are somehow different from her. Good, let her go, Arueshalae, let her leave. No, you don't know what kind of monster she is. We can let her go. Arueshalae with unmatched speed. Arueshalae attacks. With unmatched speed, Arueshalae attacks the hag. She screeches a less rasping cackle, which soon turns into a strange gurgle. You and I need to have a very serious chat. 3,200 experience? Holy shit, Arueshalae's eyes are plain teeth as she holds your gaze. There is much I have to explain, to confess. Of course, please, there's something I want to show you. Come, it's not far. Peter is burning. Arueshalae approaches the grave. It is small but surprisingly well maintained given the surrounding squalor and neglect. Arueshalae touches the cold stone decorated with a Desna butterfly, like she's greeting an old friend. Silently, she turns to you. She retrieves a map from her bag, makes a mark on it, and holds it out to you. First things first. Here, I wasn't lying to you about this. That's where you find the Ivory Sanctum, and in it, the secret of the demons with the strange powers. The entrance is hidden under a pile of skulls. I don't know how to open it, and I have never been inside, but cultists enter somehow, which means that you can find a way to get inside. Another 2,200 experience. Thank you for the map. I appreciate your help. This is good. The Succubus shakes her. I lied to you. Trust me, and I used you to get rid of the hag. This doesn't assuage my guilt, but it is the least I can do. I've already sent have been reviewed. Who does this grave belong to? My last victim. She was a priestess of Desna. I seduced her and drained her soul. She died in my arms, and I decided to bask in her final reveries, so I dove into her fading mind. Dreams are Desna's domain. The goddess noticed my sacrilege, but for some reason she showed me mercy instead of punishment. He opened my eyes to who I was and who I could be. When I returned to my senses, the first thing I did was bury my final victim here and to make a vow before her grave that I would atone for everything I had done. I didn't even know who she was. I seduced her, deceived her, and killed her. And she saved my soul. Arueshalae wipes her eyes. Only I could die and give her back her life, but I can't, Mama. All I can do is live on and help those who are still alive. How did you know the heck would be here? I was freed in Dresden. The demons set her on my trail. She failed to catch me, but she took a hostage of a sort. Arueshalae once again runs her fingers over the grave's tombstone. Yeah. She threatened to corrupt this grave if I didn't come here and surrender. I knew I could not defeat her on my own, so I used you. I used the light to get you here so you would help me kill her. Forgive me, I'm sorry. How did you know about the Bell of Mercy? This place, the fortress and the bell tower. I saw them in the dreams of the person lying in this grave. She was on her way here for the bell. She wanted to take it from here and return it to the Crusaders in Cannabis. But she never made it here because she met me. I killed her and I devoured her dreams, or rather they devoured me. That's why when I re-emerged from the dream realm, I buried her here. I thought it was the right thing to do. I've wanted to return the bell to the Crusaders for a long time, but the bear's bush and the bell burns my impure fingers. Why did you have to lie? You could have just asked for help. I was afraid that you would refuse if there was nothing in it for you. I was afraid you wouldn't believe me, and I am a demon now. For centuries it was all I knew. You want something, you get it by lying or by force. Luring your hero is so easy, so natural. Lies and manipulation, they are my native language. When I have spoken my entire life, asking for a favor, now that is a foreign notion that I have only begun to learn. Don't think I'm trying to justify what I did. I knew my lie was despicable. I knew that perfectly well when I lied to you. I knew it was a step backward, back to the old Arueshalae. And I still did it. There is no excuse for it. I just want you to understand me. Everything is clear now. So what are you going to do with me? Arueshalae waits with bated breath, her eyes locked on yours. See fear and sadness there, and also a tiny flicker of hope. Continue. Say what you want, but we can't push her away. That's what I think. The fact that she's a demon only means that her path to atonement starts in the abyss itself. And will be much longer than others. It means that she needs more help, not less. I sincerely hope the Fifth Crusade will not be the latest casualty in the long line of endeavors that end in ruin because someone decided to trust the word of a demon. I forgive you, and please try to forgive yourself. Thank you. I will try. Well, I suppose farewell. Wait, you sound like you in my party. Come with me.
Yes. Let's go.
And if he doesn't believe her ears and then not singly listens. The girl's ruby eyes stare watchfully as passersby who don't notice her even at arm's length. She turns to you, her face a mixture of contemplation, sadness, and admiration. They're amazing, aren't they? We are being attacked by demons with unusual powers. Do you know anything about them? Areelu thinks for a long while. Finally, she answers hesitantly. Back in Arueshalae, there were rumors about terrible experiments that Baphomet and the Scary performed on their troops, make them stronger. Here on the material plane, these rumors were embellished with lots of details. Some say that demons undergo rituals acquired from Zonkaton. Others say they feed on the blood of angels, or Qlippoths, or demon lords. Still others say that there are no experiments, and Baphomet is just bringing back fighters from the future, which in which the demons have already taken all of Golarion. What the fuck? Is there a grain of truth in any of these ramblings? There's no way to know. And actually, none of these rumors give an indication of where these demons come from. I'm sorry I can't help. The only thing that's clear is that the lowly fighters in the army of the Abyss are as puzzled by this as we are. What are you doing here? I'm watching, she nods at the city dwellers as they hurry past. Listening to their conversations, studying their faces, I'm trying to understand what they truly are. Don't you think you're being a little creepy? What? She's surprised. Really? Why? I don't mean any harm. How'd you like to watch people? You know, in my old life, I thought I knew everything about them. I was a master of seduction after all. I knew how to tempt a mortal into doing anything I required. I could trap them in a lie or lie myself and never get caught. It's disgusting to remember, but that was my life for many centuries. Now I see I knew nothing. A demon warrior probably also considers himself an expert on mortals because he's killed so many of them. He certainly knows where to trust the spear for a quick death, and where to trust it for a long and painful one. And he thinks that's enough. My knowledge was of the same kind. I ruined many mortals without learning the first thing about them. I watched them to understand them. This won't give my victims back their lives, of course, but still, by growing closer to these mortals, it's like I'm paying back some part of my debt to my victims' memories. Have you learned anything new about mortals? They love cats. I fucking love my cat. This is a beautiful name, Arueshalae. Speaks in a very serious manner. I was sharing an important scientific discovery with you, but then a moment later she managed to give the joke away. Seriously, have your observations of humans led to anything? I wouldn't want to draw any rash conclusions. I've only been watching them for a short while. But I think I have understood one thing. The Succubi have a saying, mortals always lie. A mortal isn't talking means she's busy lying to herself. Okay? That's really something. But now I see this isn't true. You mortals aren't liars, you're dreamers. Each of you creates a huge daydream for yourself. And everyone you share your life with, it is exactly a lie because the daydream is your truth. I see. Let me ask you another question. Of course, but forgive me if I don't have any answers. Tell me about yourself. I'm afraid you won't like what I'm going to tell you. Where do Succubi come from? Did you have a childhood? Oh, well, yes, but in brief, the Abyss is nothing like the mortal world. Arueshalae makes a gesture in the air trying to find the right words. Remember life since conception? No, wait. You don't remember that part, do you? You certainly know everything since birth. We do not. Normally, when a human dies, the Lady of Graves, I think it's the Pharasma, decides which plane they go to. Most often, those who arrive in the Abyss turn into larvae. You know, the little worms no one notices until you step on them? They crawl in the mud for centuries, devouring each other, and the strongest ones turn into demons. I don't know how that transformation happens. Maybe we hatch out of them, like caterpillars out of butterflies. No, wait. It's the other way around. Or maybe greater demons sculpt us out of them, like so much clay. I don't know what happened to the larvae that they used to make me and my own memory. It begins with vague fragmentary images, terrors, executions, orgies. I remember some poor lad, half gnawed by the larvae, was crying, begging to be killed. I pointed at him and laughed and said I wouldn't. Desna, forgive me, I'm so ashamed. How did you end up turning against the Abyss? Temptation? Arueshalae my sadly. Strange, isn't it? So many people believe that being good is important. but it's boring and unpleasant, and all that's enjoyable and tempting pertains to evil. Even the servants of kind gods often think so, do they not? You have no idea how easy that makes the role of a temptress. Well, it was my great fortune to discover that it's not always like that. My last, Arueshalae looks away. My last victim was a priestess of Desna, the tender of dreams. As you know, demons do not sleep. Mortals always compare their greatest moments to dreams, so I decided it would be interesting to see for myself what it was at it for me, goddess, to not Desna. This priestess lay in my arms, dying of my kiss. Yeah, I remember every smallest detail. The cold sweat on her skin, her eyes rolled back into her head, her weak whisper, so difficult to recount. Well, I dove into her mind to see what mortal dreams were like, but the goddess saw me in her realm, and it turned out I remained there far longer than I planned. What did Desna do to you? As a punishment, she gave me mercy. I often think, why me? She could have easily have blown me away like smoke with a flick of her finger. The gods rarely trouble themselves with the lives of mortals, and even less so with demons, but for reasons of her own she paid me special attention. She awoke in me the memories of the sinners whose souls were used to create me. All those humans, I knew nothing of them until Desna showed me. Each of them had their own dreams, and the world without pity trampled each of them and placed them on a path that led to the abyss. I knew nothing of them until Desna showed me. Each of them had their own dreams, and a world without pity trampled each of them and placed them on a path that led to the abyss. A world without pity trampled each of them and placed them on a path that led to the abyss. Their memories, all their hopes and pain, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to talk about this. You see tears well up in the Succubus's eyes. Arueshalae wipes away her tears and continues. The most important thing I realized was that every mortal is a little world of hopes and dreams. That although I might be a succubus, I didn't have to live forever with those beastly boring pleasures and tortures of the abyss. I can be free. I can be myself, if only I can understand who I am. Do you know who you are? What of you? Do you know who you are? Are there many mortals who can make that claim? Before returning me to the mortal realm, Desna whispered something to me. I can still hear her words. She asked me, and what do you dream of? And I don't know. I still don't. You see, demons are simple creatures. Arueshalae pursues her lips. Each is guided by 2 or 3 strong sins. Before my conversion, my sins were all I was. A ball of desire without anyone behind them doing the desiring. Desire for sex, for flattery, and food. But now I have me, and it's amazing, but it's so complicated. Arueshalae makes an apologetic gesture and smiles. What did you do after Desna converted you? I traveled. In the beginning, I thought it wise to keep away from demons and their temptations. Run off to Absalom, or perhaps even further, to another plane. I realized that I didn't deserve freedom yet. The abyss was still in me. It called to me, tempting me, seducing me. Hurrying away, I would soon return to my old habits. Arueshalae forces the word from her mouth. That is why I came here, to join the war, to remember who my enemy is, to defeat the demons, not just for the mortal world, but for myself as well. Because if I don't heal my past, it will always be reaching for me. I'm a wonderful liar. I'm no longer proud of it, but it's still true. The demons never suspected my treason until the very end. I lived as a spy and regularly reported back to the priestess of Desna whatever I learned. Naturally, I concealed my identity from them as well. I would never have been caught, but when I learned that this Descari was planning an attack on Canabris, there was no time for caution. I risked everything to warn you and pay with my freedom. So amazing! The anarchy of the Abyss was slavery for you, but you found freedom in the army. Well, I'm not exactly marching in the infantry. Your operations bear little resemblance to battle by the laws of warfare. So do you worship Desna now? The goddess did a lot for me, more than I ever deserved. Asking anything more of her would be impudent. I'm grateful to her, but I try not to trouble her with my prayers. Thank you for your answers. I hope they didn't upset you too much, at least not as much as they upset me. May I ask you a personal question, the kind of question mortal might ask a succubus? You want to talk about sex? Arueshalae looks you in the eye. Ask me anything, I will not keep secret from you, but don't expect to hear anything light-hearted or pleasant. The kiss of a succubus is deadly, isn't it? Not just a kiss. Any caress of any kind sucks the life from mortals, and there is nothing I can do about it. Arueshalae touches his lips ever so slightly. For mortals, Tenderness is tenderness and violence is violence. But I don't know what it's like to kiss and not inflict pain. I just hope my observations of mortals will help me understand. Young lovers, old spouses, even what mortals condemn as promiscuity, to me it all looks like something amazingly human. You know, a drop of vital energy is a small price to pay for your kiss. Don't joke like that, for me it's not a joke at all. I'm sorry, I wasn't meant to upset you. Never mind, just try not to tempt me. You know, it's hard for me to control myself. Holy shit. Wait, you mean you don't just watch people during the day out on the street? Well, I never touch anyone. I never harm anyone. I just watch and listen. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. Just don't get caught. Chaotic. I can promise you that. What is sex between demons like? Everything demons do is a sort of cannibalism. Each devours mortals and other demons in their own way. Some enjoy literally tearing off pieces of flesh with their teeth. Others like to subdue and turn their prey into slaves and living tools. Some feed on others' humiliation. It comes in different forms, but the essence is always the same. Another being is an object to be used for your own pleasure. Demon sex doesn't differ from any other type of violence. In my former life, it was something I did to others, or others did to me. Only one person ever received pleasure, not the other. Do you still feel desire? Arueshalae keeps a long silence as she searches for the right words. You see, on the one hand, my succubus nature remains with me. I feel. The desire I feel is the one from my old life. When I look at any mortal, I immediately imagine how. She looks away. That feeling, that desire, is not what mortals feel. When you like someone, you don't ponder how good it would feel to drink their soul, do you? You think about how good it would feel to be together. Together, you see? You know how to want someone, and at the same time not want to destroy them? For me, it's always one and the same. True despair rings in Arueshalae's voice. I'm not even talking about love, just the common mutual affection of mortals. When they're not poisoned with violence. Now I know that I've never felt it. It's hard to imagine how it's even possible. Love is a wonderful feeling. I believe you will be able to experience it someday. I hope so. It's just that the girl puts her hand on her chest. I don't deserve it. Who dare love a predator from the abyss who, by her very nature, is unable to return those feelings? Gently touch Arueshalae's fingers. I believe in you. I can help you if you let me. Her fingers briefly touch the succubus' heated skin, and she anxiously jerks her hand back. Her eyes shine with fear, hope, and something new, fragile, and tender. Something that makes her look surprisingly like an embarrassed mortal girl. I will. Thank you for being so open. Arueshalae nods without saying a word. Tell me about life in the abyss. I can tell you about all of the abyss. I've only seen as one part. If you like, I can tell you about the Midnight Isles and Arueshalae. Tell me about the Midnight Isles. In the ocean of Ishiar, not far from the mouth of the river Styx, there is a chain of islands. This is the realm of Nocticula, the queen of the Succubi. There is no sun there, only a moonlit night, alternating with a moonless one. Each of the islands is one of Nocticula's trophies, the remains of a powerful entity that perished at her hands. As you see, you cannot take a step into the abyss without treading on corpses. Now about Arueshalae. The Porphyry city is Nocticula's capital. There's no city like it in the mortal world. Absalom is a village in comparison. Millions, I don't exaggerate, millions of demons and mortals live there. Some come voluntarily, not only from Golarion, but from other planes as well. Nocticula keeps an open boundary and enjoys having many guests, merchants, and travelers in the city. Some arrive in chains. The slave trade is the most thriving business in the city. Oh, come, look. From afar, the city may seem a merry place. Many of its dwellers do enjoy themselves, until it's their turn to become someone else's toy. It's a city of suffering, Mom, of cheerful, festive torments that everyone in the city inflicts on those around them. What are some places of interest in Arueshalae? The heart of the business quarter is the flesh markets, where the slave trade takes place. I grew up in the mansion of Lady Vellexia. Her house is always full of guests doing their best to entertain her. Those whose performance is not to her liking risk remaining at her house forever. The main attraction of the Succubi city is, of course, the brothels, the 10,000 delights. I need not tell you what they offer. If you can imagine, someone is selling it. Not far from there, you can find the harem of ardent dreams, which serves as a sort of city hall, Hepzamirah. The Hepzamirah city is located in the center of the city, Nocticula's right hand and mayor of Arueshalae, receives her visitors there. For those who prefer bloodier sports, there are many arenas in the city. The most famous of them is Battle Bliss. Battles run continuously without breaks and without rules. It doesn't matter what trickery you use to win, it only matters how much fun the crowd is having. And above it all towers the House of Silken Shadows, Nocticula's palace. Let's go. Nocticula, demon lord of assassins, darkness, and lust. Lady Nocticula is a beautiful but deadly creature. Even demon lords aren't safe from her deadly seductions. The number of demon lords she seduced and assassinated is formidable. Nocticula's abyssal realm consists of dozens of islands on an immense sea of steel like water. The sky is always dark here, with strange stars and a steadily large moon in the sky above. Each of these midnight isles represents a demon lord or other notable entity she's assassinated. Oh shit! With each new kill, her realm grows. The other demon lords treat Nocticula with a mixture of obsession and fear. Lamashtu's cult has taken notice of Nocticula's rising power and has increased the level of hostility with her worshippers, causing some to believe that Nocticula may be close to becoming the second demon to ascend to divinity. Oh shit. Hundreds, thousands of towers and domes adorned with jewels. There are legends of what happens inside. Many have striven to experience the delights of the Succubi Queen's palace, forgetting that it was built for her pleasure, not theirs. What can you tell me about Nocticula? She's called the Lady in Shadow. They say that she was the first Succubus. She's far from the most powerful of the demon lords. This hasn't kept her from being the ruin of many creatures, significantly more powerful than herself, even building her kingdom upon their bones. They say that, like Lamashtu, she strives to turn herself from a demon lord into a true goddess. She enjoys killing, but her favorite tools are seduction and deception. She only stoops to crude violence when there are no other games to play, and even then she backstabs from the shadows. Her favorite weapon is a crossbow, though a silk garrote would suit her better. If you should ever meet her, do not believe a word she says. Do not fall for her provocations. Do not try to beat her at her own game, and most importantly remember, the worst mistake anyone can make is to underestimate her. Thanks for the information. Though I'll be happy if it helps. What do you think of the powers I gave you? It's a great temptation. I don't know if I should be trusted with such power. I certainly wouldn't trust myself with it. When you have so much power, it's easy to decide you're a god and the mortals are your toys. Perhaps I should wait until after we defeat the forces of the Abyss. But that's precisely what these powers are for. We'll think for a moment, then speak softly. You take a great risk. I'm not sure I can handle the temptation. It's hard enough as it is. Okay, number 7. I have to go. Be watching you. It's good that you're here. Shall we be silent together? Do you like silence? I used to talk a lot before, and all of it was a lie. Words ring so much. I like silence more now. I saw you disappearing in a kaleidoscope of butterflies. What was that? Desna protects me. Whenever something threatens my life, she teleports me away from the danger. I guess the goddess does not want me to die before I fully redeem myself. I do not deserve her kindness. What to do? Arueshalae. Suddenly Arueshalae stops and steps behind you. She looks rather embarrassed. I know who they are, but what if they, a demon? And pointed at Arueshalae. There's something I'd like you to meet. Hi, I know who you are, and you probably know who I am. You, I recognize your voice. You're the one who sent us those visions and warned us about the attack on Cannabis. And you're demon. The demon helped us and was able to use desert magic. I'm at a loss for words. What's your name? Why did you start helping Crusaders? Why don't you come over for tea someday? Do demons even drink tea? Oh, there are so many things I want to ask you. My name is Arueshalae. I'll certainly take you up on your offer. If I have some time to spare after the raids with the commander, I'm so thrilled to meet you all. Thank you, Mama. Those 3 were the first mortals to listen to me and believed me. So bright and lively, all 3 of them. I had no idea what they'd think when they found out who the voice from their dreams belonged to. I still have to tell them what I've done. How I murdered a dozen priestess for becoming what I am. Still, I'm glad they didn't spur me at first sight. Remind me again what you do and what your goals are. Arueshalae looks upset. It seems she has been plagued by dark thoughts since leaving Wintersun. That mortal Markov, I just can't stop thinking about what happened to him in his old village. It's a real tragedy. Yes, it was. Demons break the minds of mortals so easily, no matter how wise or noble those mortals are. A whole village living in a world of illusion for a century. You know, ever since we left, I keep thinking, what if the same thing is happening to me now? If I just think I joined the crusade and fighting against the demons, just that what I'm doing here, it all seems so unreal. Look serious, resurrection. It's better than the world change. Should never let you down. Right. For reality, or just a little butterfly that feels in the feeling so video. Wink at Arueshalae. Let's go to my tent. I'll present you with undeniable proof that I'm real. Don't ever joke like that. Please, don't tell me anything like that ever again. What if I were unable to resist? You could die, and I have to go back to the abyss. Laugh. Right. So don't ever joke like that. Please don't tell me anything like that ever again. What if I were unable to resist? You could die. What the fuck? I have to go back to the abyss. Okay, the laughter option. Don't laugh at me, I'm serious. You look at things like that, all my fears really seem rather stupid. That proves nothing at all. I can laugh at the idea of living inside an illusion even while being in one, can't I? Look serious, you're so right. Remember how you told me Desna once kept you trapped in the Wood of Dreams? Or she never left you out of there? So where does that leave me then? If it's true, then all my attempts to redeem myself, and the crusade, and even you, all of it is just an illusion sent to me by Desna. Everything around me is fake, and in reality I'm still her captive. What a horrible thought. Desna would never do that to me, or would she? No, she would never do that. The whole crusade is an illusion, then who am I? Well, you know, this is odd, but I can't picture you as an illusion. Anyone but you. Oh, but what if that thought is a delusion too? Gently touch Arueshalae's hand. I'm real, I swear it. She shivers but doesn't jerk her hand back. Okay, she's an improvement. This is an improvement from the time that I touched her hands in the city. She squeezed your palm with her hot, dry fingers. I believe you. You must be real. I don't want to imagine a world where that is not so. Hot, dry fingers. Hot and dry. But let's go of your hand. I'll bet Markov said the same thing to his demoness. I so desperately want to believe you're real, but he wanted to believe too. He also had his doubts, but he chose to wave them away because he wanted to love his demoness. Tell me, who am I? How am I any different from him? Hold on, you just said you want to love me? Alright. Arueshalae's face turns bright red and she looks away. Me too. Well, she inhales and exhales loudly. I do care about you a lot. That's why I was so scared by the things I saw in Wintersun. It's terrifying to think that love, such deep feelings could be a delusion. Okay, now this is good. The difference is that he lived inside the illusion and he knew it. Whereas you live in real world and you know it. Do I? I think I do. When you talk about it, it always seems so simple. But in my alone again, all the doubts come back. They pile up, more and more of them. By morning, I'm back to not knowing what's real and what's not. You should spend more time with your friends and less time inside your head. Yes, you're right. The Succubus gives you a shy smile. If I get lost in my thoughts again, you help me return to reality, won't you? Arueshalae, best girl, of course. For centuries, I have watched mortals be drawn into the same game with demons and lose every single time. But you are truly wise, old shaman. How could you have done something so foolish? Surely you're wise enough to understand that there is no such thing as a deal with the abyss where the mortal does not lose. Have you mortals no sense at all? District Counselor. I hope I won't get in anyone's way if I join. Arueshalae looks around with visible worry. I think I could give some good advice here, if you don't mind, of course. on the kingdom's order. These cultures must be replaced with decent, honorable people. Selfless souls have proven that they put their comrades' lives above all else, especially their own wealth. Surely that's who will take the best care of our soldiers. Arueshalae, what are you doing on this council? You think I shouldn't have joined? Arueshalae looks away sheepishly. It's just, well, I spent a lot of time studying how armies work, both Crusader and Demonic, when I was spying. I think my advice might be useful, or at least I hope it will, but if I'm not bothered, I'll leave, of course. Arueshalae, what are you suggesting? Quartermaster's job is to care for the well-being of the soldiers they're equipping for battle. That means the best people to appoint to those positions are people who really care. Those who will keep their fighters warm, fed, and properly armed. Maybe they won't have the most experience, but that's alright. It's easier to teach someone numbers and how to run a warehouse than it is to instill a conscience in them. Arueshalae will choose the most honest and responsible people for the job. They'll make sure the soldiers are ready for whatever trouble the enemy might have in store for them. After all, other people's lives depend on their work. How could they neglect such a responsibility? Your eyes, Mom. I always see a light in them. Is that inner strength or perhaps the spark of your soul? Share this with me. I want to possess you, to own you. The vision fades to black and Arueshalae cover her face in horror. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. Such interesting fantasies you have. Please don't. I know I'm a monster. I pray that I can keep myself in check. It's just this place. It will make the demon in anyone, even a mortal. Please don't be sad. Maybe I am a scary, horrible dragon, but I'm not a monster. You're not a monster either. Thank you, Aivu. You're so sweet. Your presence makes everything a little brighter. You ready to move on? Yes, I'm most certain that a demon is creating these illusions. A very strange and powerful demon. We have to find them. Oh, best girl is here. Arueshalae, the succubus, looks embarrassed and upset. Forgive me for how I behaved back in Areelu's laboratory. I feel so ashamed. I'm trying to become better. I really am. Every day. But every day I realize that nothing's changed. That I'm still a monster. What's bothering you? You were there. You heard everything. All my thoughts. All my filthy desires. Do you really think you haven't changed at all? Maybe I have a little. But I don't feel it at all. It's just the opposite. The more I spend among mortals, the more I feel how different from them I am. It's not your fault. The demon invaded the minds of everyone who was there. But what he showed us was the truth. What you heard, those were my real thoughts. Forgive me, please forgive me. There's no need to torture yourself over it. Your thoughts didn't hurt anyone. No, they didn't, but if I wasn't a monster, I wouldn't even have had the thoughts like that. And if I can't get rid of them, it means I'm incapable of changing my nature. I am doomed to remain a... You know what? You're beating yourself for what you think, but what about all the good things you do? Does it really matter what I do? It doesn't stop me knowing that inside I remain the same monster that I've always known. I don't know which is more important, deeds or thoughts, but either way you can count on my full support. Thank you, you do so much for me. I don't even know how I coped on my own before. I'm glad you're not angry with me. Thank you for hearing me out. I will become better, I really will, because I have to. But it's just so hard. A sigh, she musters a smile. With you by my side, redemption doesn't seem so out of reach. Yes, it will be complicated, but you'll help me. I know it. I believe it. Arueshalae, there's an unusual spring in the Succubus step today. She has a mysterious smile on her lips that you can't recall seeing before. Oh, Desna, something truly miraculous happened to me. If only I knew. You're beaming with delight. Yes, I've never been so happy before. I used to, and now I'm... No, wait, this doesn't feel right. Look, Arueshalae takes a few deep breaths, trying to calm down. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have barging in like that. We need to talk one-on-one. I'll be waiting for you at the tavern. Oh, good. You have the romance going on. The Succubus runs off without giving you a chance to say another word. Oh, she's in the corner. You have never seen Arueshalae looking so happy and inspired. She gives you a wide smile. There you are. I can't wait to share my joy with you. What did you want to tell me? Remember how I told you about Desna leading me onto the path of redemption? I was trying to mock her by corrupting the dreams of mortals, and the great dreamer couldn't tolerate that. She ruined my game and made me spend what seemed like a whole eternity in her realm. I had a lot of time to reflect on my past misdeeds. Oh. And when the goddess saw that I had repented, she decided to let me go. I still vividly remember her parting words. And what do you dream about? This riddle weighed on my mind for many years. Demons do not dream when they sleep. We don't have dreams at all. We have desires, and we act on those desires, no matter the cost. How was I supposed to find something to dream about? I've been observing the mortals, trying to understand how it all works, and finally the girl takes a deep breath and yells joyfully at the top of her lungs, startling every visitor and earning puzzled looks. I had my very own dream! So many years of hard work, I almost gave up at one point, but here it is, a dream. A real dream of my very own. I want to show it to you. You don't mind, do you? Arueshalae offers you her hand. Come, I'll take you to my dream. I can't wait for you to see it. Give Arueshalae her hand. Take me to your dream. The Succubus reaches for your hand with her burning fingers, and the world around you fades as you are carried somewhere far away. It is cool and quiet in Arueshalae's dream. The ground is firm beneath your feet, and thin mist curls along the surface. In soft, eerie light emanating from invisible stars, you see nothing. As you look around, you see nothing, and no one except for you. Arueshalae, nevertheless, the Succubus is beaming with joy. There it is, an actual dream. My very first one. Is this what mortals see every night? Does it look like your own dreams? What do you think? It looks exactly the same. Really? It's fascinating. Arueshalae looks around, her smile fades a bit. There is nothing to see here right now. Perhaps I was so keen on the idea of having a dream that it made all my other wishes and urges too pale in comparison. Now I have to learn how to dream properly. Arueshalae catches your eye, cocking her head to the side. Tell me, what do you dream about? Peace. A beautiful dream. When the war is over, we'll be able to... What do mortals do in times of peace? Do you retire to the countryside to grow apples, I guess, and herd ducklings? Suddenly, a lush green apple tree with a flock of ducks grazing under it appears before you as if by magic. Look, look! Arueshalae laughs and claps her hands. Now I have a dream as well, and it's not just something I made up. It's so wonderful sharing a dream with you. Do you like your newfound dream? They are the most beautiful thing in the world. This world is mine, and mine only. It's a bit empty right now, but I'm learning fast. Do you mind me taking a quick look around your dream? Of course, feel free to do whatever you like. That's why I brought you here after all. The ducks are quacking blithely as they graze on a lawn under an apple tree. Okay, now I have a better angle. My dream, my very own dream. Arueshalae takes another look around, full of pride and pleasure. I don't even want to wake up from it. Now I understand why mortals compare all the best things in their lives to dreams. Let's go back to what you were playing. Let's go. Arueshalae touches your hand and the dream world begins to fade away. You open your eyes, it seems that no time has passed in the real world. What were you in Arueshalae's dreams? So, that was my dream. I'm happy I was able to show it to you. Arueshalae looks at you shyly. It is kind of empty right now, but I know how to remedy that. I need to keep learning from mortals, following in their footsteps until I figure out how to forge my own path. Naturally, I wouldn't even think about breaking into someone else's dreams, as the goddess surely wouldn't forgive that. Perhaps I should ask the people of the city? What if they won't talk to me at all? The Succubus seems lost in her thoughts for a moment. Then she smiles at you again. Is there a chance you could help me once more? Ask the city's people what they dream about. They're more likely to open up to you than to me. I will just follow you silently. They won't even notice me listening. Okay, may I visit your dream again? But more than happy, I will be more than happy to show it to you when there is something to actually show. Please talk to the city's people about their dreams so that I have something to put it into my own. Mortals, I asked some of the city's people about their dreams. This is not for you? Yes, you can't even imagine how many new dreams I have in there now. Let's go. I want to show you everything I've got. Succubus once again takes you by the hand to bring you into the dream realm. Arueshalae's dream is no longer empty. You arrive to discover an avalanche of voices, scents, and images. The smell of Aniva's fresh bread intertwines with the stench of the Templar's fresh blood from their wife's dreams. The bells and harp strings produce the sweet melodies the one-eyed devil wished for. The storyteller's luxurious bed makes you your eyelids heavy, and the trimmed lawn on which it stands would have filled Arsenal's heart with utter joy. You see how many different things are in here? Now I too can dream like an immortal. Congratulations, I'm genuinely happy for you. Thanks, Desna, thanks for your help. I would have never collected all these dreams without you. Would you like to take a closer look? Feel free to explore my dreams, and do tell me if they look like the things mortal dreams about. Maybe it gives me some hints on how to make them better. Full of sparkling adamantine ore. We're alive, praise the gods. Once again, we're alive. Whoever killed these Templars, they did it clearly and without unnecessary violence.
I lead, you follow.
This magic weapon was enchanted to eradicate demons. Equipment with this, your soldiers will have carved through the enemy ranks like a hot knife with butter. Amber-colored liquid with bewildering aroma is dripping steadily from the pipe of the pot's hill. The regeneration potion glitters like a tiny sun trapped in a bottle. The freshly baked bread gives off a breathtakingly savory smell. Glory? Daddy, I'm here, I'm alive. Ravenous greater shadow. Okay? Arueshalae, my venomous butterfly. Wait, be careful, Malone. Where are you, my darling? We used to be as happy as the canopy of stars. Leave me alone, go away. Let me have a taste of your sweetest venom one last time. You open your eyes to find Arueshalae looking at you wide-eyed. The demon is breathing heavily. Droplets of sweat glitter on her pale face. She does not notice right away that she is squeezing your palm with her delicate burning fingers. But when she does, she turns red and jerks her hand back instantly. I'm sorry, you were supposed to see that. I didn't want you to. I didn't even want you to see that myself. Who was that? An old friend from days long, long gone. That shadow, I wanted to erase him from my memory once and for all. That nickname he gave me, Venomous Butterfly, was the last thing I ever wanted to hear again. I tried to forget about all that, but I almost succeeded. But now he's haunting my newfound dreams? Why? Everything was going so well. This must be what mortal call nightmares, right? I guess this is another confirmation that I'm now fully exploring the dream world. But will I be brave enough to enter it again, knowing that he's waiting for me there? There are so many things I still have to learn. Mortals usually find ways to deal with their nightmares, and so will I. Thank you for your help, and I'm sorry that you had to watch that awful spectacle unfold. Succubi gets to her feet. Now please excuse me, I need some time alone to think about everything I've just seen. I'm sorry that your dream turned to a nightmare. Don't be sorry for me, it's all a part of my journey. And it would be very naive to imagine my path to redemption was a sequence of pleasant dreams only. I've already described my countless evil deeds to you. Mortals suffer from nightmares born of their past, and I am glad that I had a chance to experience them as well. That shadow from your dream, who was that? Please don't ask, I don't want to be reminded of it. I knew him in the past, and I was hoping that he would never reappear. Both caused each other a lot of pain. Please don't make me relive it all again. The shadow in your dream called you their venomous butterfly. Poison me, my lies, my capriciousness, my temptation. No, I can't. Let's talk about something else. I'm sorry, but I don't want to remember who I used to be, what I used to do to others. Okay, alrighty. Questions. Arueshalae reaches out to touch your elbow, but drops her hand halfway. Instead of touching you, she whispers fearfully, what did he do to himself? What did he turn himself into? It's not even a demon, it's an abomination that will seeking even the denizens of the abyss. Not, I didn't. Arueshalae hides her face in utter humiliation. That dies with him. Do not ask him about this. There are paths to which it is best not to know. What this man has done is more frightening than anything I've seen, than anything I've done to others. I beg you, do not look into how Xanthir Vang fell. His knowledge is a danger to your soul. Someone's in need of something, we are the ones who must provide it. We should ask the priests of many different gods. They have wealth and influence, maybe they can help. What's your plan? The churches of many gods support the Crusaders' cause. They heal, bless, pray. If we ask them, maybe they'll help us ease the shortage of provisions and gear. I'm sure that if we build some shrines, the priests won't refuse to help us. But we're not alone. The Crusaders have supporters all over Golarion. It can't be that we have to fight demons to save the world without being able to make meat, make the ends. I'm not sure how to say it properly. She doesn't know that. Arueshalae, what are you doing here, lady? Arueshalae stands in the middle of the room, immersed in painful contemplation. Seeing you approach, she recoils in fright. No, don't come any closer, please don't. Why are you here? This is where I belong. You shouldn't be alone with me. Please leave. I'm begging you. It's dangerous. I'm dangerous. The succubus raises her ruby eyes to you, and you notice streaks of tears on her face. When I joined your party, I thought to myself, this is it. I'm a crusader now. I might actually be able to rid myself of my demon nature. But it's so hard. The abyss lives within me. I let my guard down for a moment, and there I was, wanting to remind me of what I truly am. I didn't hurt anyone, but I just can't talk about it. It's too shameful. Please just leave me here in this cell. Let these walls be my cloister, and don't talk to me unless absolutely necessary. I will still accompany you on your travels, but until I curb the demon inside me, I should keep my distance from you. So what's going on with you? Please talk to me. I know it's not easy for you, but I can help you if you let me. You really do want to help me? You want to save a beast of the abyss who doesn't deserve to be near someone like you? The succubus sighs. Fine, I'll tell you why I'm here, and after I do, I'll understand if you don't ever want to see me again. You've been so kind to me. You've treated me like I already deserve your kindness, like I wasn't a demon, but a mortal. And Arueshalae's cheek blush. I'm starting to feel that you're becoming very important to me. I want to be near you, talk to you, touch you. Is that such a bad thing? It's bad, it's very, very bad. I'm a demon, remember? I taint everything I touch. The most terrible weapon of any succubus is her caress, which leeches life from the one who trusted her. I still possess this weapon whether I like it or not. I'm like a venomous snake? Toad? I don't remember. Like an animal that can't help but sting even when it doesn't want to. In my previous life, I had many lovers. Some were my tormentors who degraded and broke me, to the point where I barely survived, and for others I was their tormentor. I devoured, degraded, and drained their souls dry. Every single day I struggled to suppress this desire, this unholy hunger inside me, but when you're near, with a sob, Arueshalae wipes away her tears. Forgive me, please, please forgive me, I don't want that, but every time I see you, my desires overwhelm me. Holy shit, frightening demonic desires, I can't curb them. As I looked at you, I can't stop imagining us, you and I, together. Arueshalae hides her blushing face in her hands. You know, I'm not without sin either. Really? I can't picture it. Would you care to tell me, to share it with me? I've killed. Regret over life taking such a feeling is completely alien to demons. Their minds, everyone they meet can be defined by only two qualities, usefulness and danger. They exploit those who are useful, and they flee from those who are dangerous. I could never have started on the path of good had Desna not shown me how many of my victims did not deserve such a treatment. Thank you for sharing with me. Turns out that even you are not entirely free from evil. The wise priest once said, if a sinner at least realizes that he has sinned, this means he still retains a chance for redemption. Mortals often do bad things even without demons tempting them to do so. But many mortals also realize when they are doing something bad, they can repent, and they can try to make things right. That's the main thing I'm trying to learn from you mortals. You don't have to hide away from me in this cell. Please come out of there. But these desires, they tear me apart. What hope do I have of controlling them with you so near? You want to learn to live like a mortal, then instead of hiding, you need to learn how to live among the people you care about. But what if I slip up? Until these are not deeds. We don't send people to prison for their thoughts. You wouldn't say that if you knew what I was thinking. You have no inkling of what my desires are. If only you could see what I'm imagining right now. For thoughts like this, I deserve more than a prison cell. I deserve the gallows. You've told me yourself, not all your desires are horrible. Talking, sharing thoughts and feelings. Would that be so bad? Would it? Arueshalae ponders that for a while and then nods to herself. You're right. Some of those desires are so light, so joyful, so mortal. But right after these innocent dreams, the others come. Cruel, violent, demonic ones. And I don't know how to separate them. There's no use in trying to hide from me, nature. You must overcome me. Don't worry, I'll be with you. I'll help you. You aren't scared of me at all. Dude, you're completely right. This is different. You know what what a lying monster I am, but you still trust me. Why? Why is it you seeing me that I fail to see myself? She wrings her hand and falls silent for a long time. When she starts speaking again, her voice seems firmer, as if she has found some source of inner strength. Thank you for believing in me. It means I should believe in myself too. I won't hide in the cell anymore. If you say that I won't slip up, that means I won't. Ursula smiles at you timidly. I want you until I learn to look at the world the way mortals do. Without evil and violence in my heart, I'll learn to look at you the way you deserve. Around. So, you better not come any closer. The 50,000 are still swarming my mind. Don't you feel lonely in here? I do, but I must stay here until I have firm control over my desires. Otherwise, something horrible might happen. Okay, I have to move it, you beasts. Disgusting, endless, mindless violence waged against friend and foe alike. I used to revel in it. I gave myself over to it, body and soul, but now I only see the pointless, filthy kind. Priestess of Nautical. Child Prison is one of Nautical's favorite tools. She knows how to appear weak and vulnerable, but her power shouldn't be underestimated. And in fact, you stop and want to think about that time. It was different back then. Arueshalae's whisper is barely audible. Thank you for showing concern for this demon who is a stranger to you. Demon glances very briefly at Arueshalae. I remember you. You used to fight here. Always demanded that I restore his skin to his original smooth, unblemished state, and you always tried to get a discount to run away without paying. Well, it looks like to me you have an entirely new face. It's an almost perfect replica of your old one. But something has changed, something perceptible. From such subtle artistry on you, how much did you pay? Arueshalae glances at you with an enigmatic smile. I really have changed, teacher. You cannot begin to fathom the price I've had to pay for the transformation. Would it happen without the help of a scalpel? Arueshalae gives a worried glance. Please don't do that. By joining your flesh with the flesh of a creature from the abyss, you allow its corruption to taint you. I've seen them graft the body parts of demons onto mortals just for fun. Mortals could not withstand this wicked corruption, their souls became evil. Gara takes a close look at Arueshalae and flashes an interest green. Your face is familiar. Have we met before? Sudden recognition. Arueshalae, is that you? They said you defected to the Crusaders, but I always said a rabid bitch like you would never deal with goody mortal scum. Welcome home, Arueshalae, miss you and your wild escapades. Arueshalae purses her lips and turns away, not deigning to answer. Her face grows deathly pale and there is despair in her eyes. Trying to romance this girl here, Arueshalae. Arueshalae seems confused. Something is wrong. I feel like I've lost something or not. It was Desna who lost me when we descended into the abyss. She had been my invisible protection through all those years, and now I no longer feel the divine helping hand on my shoulder. What is this gift you mentioned? You saw it yourself many times. Whenever something threatened my life, the goddess sent her divine butterflies to carry me away. Her powers no longer protect me now that I'm back in the abyss. Desna has abandoned you? No, I desperately hope that's not the case. The goddess still wishes me well, I'm sure. It's just that the abyss is so far from Elysium that she either can't see me or can't reach me here. She protected me while I was on Golarion, but now I can only rely on myself. And you? Can you still enter your dream realm? Maybe, I think so. Arueshalae pauses, listening to something deep inside her, and then smiles shyly. Yes, my dreams are still here. Nobody would take them away from me. I see. Try to put yourself in harm's way anymore then. You have nothing to fear with me at your side. I know, thank you. Up to you. We need to do something as soon as possible. Sweet Aivu shouldn't be left on her own, especially not here in the abyss. Great! My fucking dragon was just kidnapped. So, Arueshalae listens intently to the words of Areelu Sunset, a pensive expression flickering in her eyes. Will you help us, Master Areelu Sunset? I can fucking enter. Wait! Arueshalae stares nervously at the door of the building you're walking past. Do you know this place? This is a brothel called the 10,000 Lights. This is the biggest and most popular one in all Oceania. Yes, I know what it is. I have some unfinished business here. That's so... Place like... I don't frequent this place in former life. Maybe you used to work here? Russian little Arueshalae nods. I'd like to ask about something. If you have to go in there, please go without me. I don't want to see inside of that place again. I especially don't want to meet any of these denizens. You know this city better than anyone else. I might need your help, yeah. Fine. Alright, I understand. Needs must. City. Oh, look what the cat dragged in! Rockhorn, a muscular incubus grins at Arueshalae. Hey, why so shy? Come here, give your old pal a hug, haha. Hello, Rockhorn. Arueshalae answers quietly without looking into his eyes or making any move toward him. Lots of gossip about you floating around. Some say that you've sided with the mortals now. He shoots a quick glance at you. You live among them, you walk around them. Lucky you, always have your knacks and kicks within arm's reach. How'd you pull it off? Care to share a secret? There's no secret. You know, Raccoon, I would be happy if you followed my path, but I'm afraid you wouldn't like it. Get away from her now! Hey, calm down. Not bothering her, just talking, right? Right, but, you know, Raccoon, I don't think we have anything to talk about. Not this Arueshalae you used to know. Sure, of course, Arueshalae repented. Now she's a righteous saint. The incubus presses his palms against each other in a fake prayer. All pure innocent, she will never again come up with an idea to flay a loving couple and make an elegant dress out of their skins. Why are you wincing? Am I not telling the truth? No, my friend, the only one who's telling lies here is you. You're wrong, you don't just know I... Okay, let me try to intimidate him. It's a little hard. Failed. And if I don't, what are you going to do to me? Here in the 10,000 lights with everyone watching you? You see, Arueshalae, here's the thing. I believe you. I believe that you really think you're able to change your nature. You've been always a little soft in the head. So I'm not at all surprised, but you fail to realize one crucial thing. Your whole quest, your entire journey from evil to good is totally pointless, because there is neither evil nor good. Those are just things some clerics thought up. Pain and pleasure are real. Power and submission, oh yeah baby, are as real as it gets. Gold in your pocket, food in your stomach. Those are all real, but good and evil, pah. Those are just foolish notions that mortal cusses like to fill their heads with. The abyss is not the plane of chaos and evil. It is just the only honest plane, where we openly say and do everything that others tend to hide behind nice words. Fancy pushers from hell, hypocrites from heaven, merrymakers from Elysium. If you look only at their deeds instead of their words, you will understand that all of them are also seeking power, riches, and pleasure. So you want to change? Feel free to lie to yourself as much as you want. But sooner or later you come to the conclusion that there is nothing to change. Everything in this world is arranged the way it is, and there are simply no other choices. That's it. We'll see you around. Wave you goodbye, the incubus turns away. Fuck. That went badly. He's lying, I know he's lying. Another life exists, I've seen it myself. But... Actually, sounds on the verge of tears. Now you see exactly why I didn't want to come back here. Arueshalae? Arueshalae's shoulders are stupid, staring at the floor. She hands you a scented letter and whispers, take a look. Short letter is written in ornate gold lettering on pink paper. My darling venomous butterfly, welcome back home to our cozy little town. Would you like to visit an old friend? I can't wait for our reunion. Always yours, D. The one who sent me this letter, I hoped I would never hear from him again. But it was inevitable. He found out I was in the city. Of course he did. And now Desna helped me. The thought of seeing him again terrifies me. But this is simply part of my journey, isn't it? I can't just run away from the sins of my past. I have to at least try and make amends. And if I can't, then I must ask for forgiveness. It's hard to believe an Azata could be corrupted. You know better than anyone that Azatas are enamored with freedom. Their curiosity spurs them on towards new adventures. Slowly but steadily I lured him to further escapades, each one less innocent than before. Arueshalae bites her lip. He believed he couldn't make me give up my evil ways, and I lied to him briefly, giving him false hope. He believed he could make me give up. Sometimes I look at myself now and remember those days, and I want to die of shame. Who is this D? Dilmachio. Do you remember the shadow from my nightmares? That's him. I used to consider him my crowning achievement, but now I'm ashamed to remember him at all. He was an Azata once, a true hero, a knight and a poet, a defender of the weak, the pride of Elysium, and I corrupted him. I made him fall in love with me, I broke his heart, I made him commit foul crimes I cannot even describe, and when he became indistinguishable from a demon, I left him in the abyss. And now he wants to see me again. I'm frightened and ashamed. Venomous butterfly, I've heard those words before in your dream. That is what my nightmare calls me. The most horrific disgrace. There was a time when that name suited me perfectly. I've poisoned so many souls. I've ruined so many beautiful creatures, both mortal and not. The Succubus shakes her head forlornly. Most all of them are dead now, but this nightmare of mine is still alive, and that means there may still be hope of saving him. Are you going to accept the invitation? I don't want to. You have no idea how afraid I am, but what will I say? How will I look him in the eye after everything I've done to him? But I feel I must do this. I must see him. I must tell him that a fall like his is not a death sentence, that there is a way back. And if he won't listen to me, I'll simply ask for his forgiveness. What can I do to help? Please, Arueshalae gasps that she's deprived of air. Please, let's go there together. I must see him again, face to face. I must try to save him from the abyss. I doubt it's possible. I know how much I've corrupted him, but I must try nevertheless. I must, and yet I can't do it on my own. I just... Succubus sobs and buries her face in her hands. Okay. Can you tell about this Dilmachio? He was a poet and a knight once, a brave servant of Desna, a kind defender of the weak. I broke him, I seduced him, sent him away, beckoned him back with false hope of a reunion. I made him do things I'm too ashamed to recall now. I left him somewhere on the road to Lushnira, thinking that he was going to die in the nearest ditch. Yet he somehow survives, and now this wretched creature has spent so many years in the abyss that I'm not sure if there's anything still left of the person I knew. I'll begin my mission. Arueshalae, who has been listening to the conversation with some excitement, suddenly looks up. Without shifting her gaze from early sunset, she quietly sings the tune of Starward Gaze. Very sweet song, child. Thank you, Master Early Sunset. Arueshalae smiles at him. My heart hurts because of Aivu, and I just wanted to express my concern in some way. Songs are good for this. Arueshalae waits another moment, glances at you, then falls silent. It's not my place to preach sermons on chastity, but listen to one who spent many years in this place and experienced everything there is to try. This is not a house of pleasure. This is a house of pain, filth, and lies. The pleasures they promise leave scabs and sores. Take pity on yourself and leave this place. Arueshalae, what was that strange song for early sunset all about? Arueshalae closed her eyes for a moment. The last thing I wanted was to lie to you again. Yet neither could I allay my growing suspicions. Look, man, I'm afraid Early Sunset is not the person he wants us to think he is. I had my doubts about him for quite a long time, but it wasn't until Aivu's kidnapping that I took my chance in challenging him. Not only did the Song of Elysium mean nothing to him, but he didn't even react to it like our lies did before. There's something else. It's more of a gut feeling, though. I was once a master of lies in the second. I can recognize a fellow liar on the spot. It's like how two skilled carpenters, weaponsmiths, or apprentices can always recognize each other in the crowd. And who do you think he is? An entity that possesses great power, that's for sure. I presume we are yet to meet a person or a creature who might pose an actual threat to him. His true motives are as unclear to me as they are to you. Why hasn't he attacked us yet if he's an enemy? Why is he lying to us if he's a friend? So you're telling me that he's somehow involved in Aivu's kidnapping? Who knows? The Abyss is a place where evil deeds are as natural and common as sunrises and sunsets in Golarion. The demons might have kidnapped Aivu on the early sunset's orders, or they might have just done it just because they naturally tend to capture, divide, and torment their victims. I trust you. What should we do now to expose him? Please don't make any hasty decisions. If he's somehow involved with the ones who kidnapped Aivu, we put him on his guard, we might lose her forever. We must be careful and keep watching closely, I say. Okay, I have to go number 7. To spare me from your vengeance. Arueshalae gasps with bitterness and indignation. The blood of heaven runs in your veins. While others break themselves striving to be better, nobler, brighter, you, all those things were given to you by fate. You were born blessed, and this is how you squander the blessing? It's worse than mere folly, this blasphemy. How dare you? Okay. Doesn't deserve any easy passing. The Succubus look at Darren in dismay. No, I am not going to do that. I hate him, but I promised I would change. I don't want to be like him. Handsome young man in a snow-white toga. Thank you. Arueshalae hesitantly plucks one of the gilded grapes, puts it in her mouth, and chews slowly. It's been a while since I saw you last, Dilmachio. What happened to your hands? Don't! I never had a taste for mortal flesh. Arueshalae throws you a remorseful look and forces herself to finish. Only mortal souls. Arueshalae, did you eat beet before? The Succubus shakes her head. No, but not out of any kind of virtue. I just so happened that this particular atrocity was never to my liking. Dilmachio, I've come to ask for forgiveness. I did this to you. I turned you into this. It's my fault. I remember what you were when I first met you. So brave, so kind, so inspired. And I ruined you. Forgive me. Good number 2. Why don't you wear dresses like that anymore? They really suit you. You know why I don't wear them anymore? I've tried to apologize, but you clearly don't need my apologies. Let's have it your way then. I just want you to know I'm wholeheartedly regrets that I've done to you. Goodbye, Dilmachio. I'm leaving, and this time for good. Sit down, you whore. That's enough. I don't want to kill you. There's no need to fight. Let's go our separate ways and not hurt each other anymore. Desna knows we've had enough of that already. Where you're mine. Dilmachio, I've announced an evil. I'll serve Desna, your former mistress. If she gave a succubus like me a chance, surely she can forgive you too. The path of ascension is deep, but if you lead. No, there's nothing merry about it. Get up, Dilmachio. That's enough. For the last time, repent. Either follow me on the path of Desna or get out of my way and let me go. Arueshalae kneels before the dead Elector's body. She closes his eyes and plants a kiss on his bullet forehead. Forgive me, Dilmachio. Forgive me and farewell. Let's go, Malan. There's nothing left for us here. Succubus wipes away her tears. I'm sorry I had to train this way. It's not your fault I chose and chose you for blasphemy his life. I will kill you. I'm sorry I had to end this way. Thank you. I hoped I could make things right, but the harm I caused was already irreversible. And it's all my fault, and there's nothing I can do about it. Arueshalae shakes her head ruefully. What just happened here, everything is said, I need to reflect on it. I want to talk about it. Not right now. Later when I've had a chance to sort out my thoughts and emotions. Succubus nods toward the mauled corpse. Arueshalae looks around the house and shakes her head. A night of Succubus, and it ends in death, a typical love story in the abyss. I'm sure you participated in more than one such story. Why don't you tell us how many lovers you've robbed and killed? Demon turns pale and stares at the numb deafness. Lots of them. Is that what you wanted to hear? Yes, lots of them. Seduced, killed, robbed, swayed to betrayal, averted from faith. Mortals and demons, men and women, there, I've confessed. What more do you want from me? Why would you ask me such a horrible question? Because I want everyone to remember who you are and what you did. Look at you. The roar of the spectators grows so loud you can feel it in your bones. The audience is utterly enthralled. They look at you in wonder and worship you as if you are God. Glory and death, that is the battle cry of doomed madmen. How many times have I heard it? How many times have I shouted it while standing in the arena? I run from what I've done. I run as fast as I can, but even this smallest thing can remind me of the past. Then it all comes flooding back, and I remember all the terrible things I've done. Chaotic, scowl menacingly. You swine! You pieces of shit! Come down here! I'll kill you all! I crush you all! I tear you to shreds! Arueshalae, best girl. Let's talk about what happened on Dilmachio's manor. Yes, it tells a lot about what he said and then I understood. Wait, I think it would be easy to show you instead of trying to explain everything. Will you follow me to my dream again? Let's go. Thank you. Arueshalae takes your hand in her small steering palm and the world around you begins to fade. Arueshalae's dream is filled with smoke, cold, ghostly fires devouring the dreams of others transported. Tears are flowing freely from her eyes, leaving faint trails on her soot-stained cheeks. Arueshalae, what's wrong? Don't cry. She wipes away her tears, smearing soot all over her face. Do you remember we saw in Dilmachio's mansion? Dilmachio's mentioned what is said about the dreams coming true. Food, riches, the demise of his enemies. Teary-eyed Succubus looks at you. Desna asked me what I dreamed of. Tried to find an answer. I truly did, but look, are my dreams any different than the desires of demons? It's changed. What's the name of that bird that grabs everything shiny and carries it off to its nest? A gold pinch, right? Just like a thieving gold pinch that spies on people's dreams and hoards them away. But then that hasn't changed me at all. I'm still the same greedy, cruel, lustful demon I've always been. That's not true. You're not like other demons. You do good. I force myself to do good every day. I help mortals and protect them from other demons. But can my actions change my inner nature at all? If I'm still a demon inside, then what does it matter? What if, without even knowing it, I'm simply ingratiating myself with you so I can seduce, betray, and murder you? I don't want to want that, but my black heart does. Other demons don't dream. That's true, but this is my dream, and it's full of things that demons desire in reality. What are you going to do now? Now, Arueshalae looks at her burning dream with sadness. I have to start anew. I still have my own dream. I will conceive of others' desires and try to find my own. Arueshalae cradles a tiny flame in her palm and watches it dance on her fingers. I was so happy to receive my own dreams, and now it's so difficult to get rid of them. Will you help me destroy all this? I fear I won't manage on my own. Okay.
Head on!
Burn down. Burn down. Burn down. Let's burn the dreams of Arueshalae.
I lead. You follow. Onwards!
Arueshalae's dream has been swallowed by the flames. Ribbons of smoke drift away, carried by the intangible wind. Black shadow lurks in the darkness, staring at you. It's Arueshalae's ineradicable nightmare. The Succubus touches the table. The fire not only failed to destroy it, it somehow made the table even more real. Arueshalae studies with a mix of sorrow and confusion. What's wrong with the stupid table? Why didn't it burn? Oh, your nightmare didn't burn either. No, it didn't. Arueshalae looks at the black shadow, which stares doubtfully back at her. That thing won't leave this place ever. Think about it. Why this table? Why is it so important? Number 2. I'm pressing 2. I don't know. I don't. Arueshalae knocks on the wooden surface. It's just a table. And even fresh bread used to be here. Now it's gone, and yet the table remains. What if this is a real dream? Your own dream, and not something you overheard? This table? The confused Succubus traces the wooden surface with her finger. Is this what I dream of? Furniture? Let me help you get rid of it. Can't destroy if you really try it. Arueshalae touches the table again, pensively tracing the wood grain with her finger. Why don't you destroy everything I brought here? But it just refuses to burn. Is it a nightmare too? Maybe something important? Is it another hint? I don't know. I want to destroy it, but I'm afraid too. Didn't you want to burn it all down and start anew? Yes, but now I think it's somehow important. I don't know why exactly, it's just a hunch. I'm sorry I'm so fickle. Then perhaps we shouldn't get rid of it. But what's wrong with it? Why is it still here when everything else burned down? But now, is it really the end of your dream? I don't know, I probably won't do anything yet. Everything is burned down apart from my nightmare and this table. You know, I might just... She cuts herself short and turns away, blushing a little. No, that won't do. Or, I'm sorry, I need some time. I need some time alone to think about it and sort it out in my head. Music is in a few days. Or I'll just go back to the real world. No time. It's so much worse than I thought. I mean, it's demise. I remember I've heard of this place. It's a tower. Supposedly filled with treasures left there after the death of an ancient mage. But no one could prove there is any truth to these rumors, because not one of the daring adventurers who managed to get in ever returned. The place is a death trap. The Horny is probably just toying with us. He's pretending to be helpful only to send us to certain death. Alrighty then. Have you worked out yet what the table in your dreams means? Not yet. I keep going back there to examine it, but it's just a simple wooden table. What can it possibly signify? It's a mystery. Perhaps I'll be able to solve it when we get back to Golarion. It's not very easy to dream here in Abyss. Oh, Grandma, you're stepping my foot again. Arueshalae giggles quietly, then asks in a whisper, "With disguises." Okay. I think I put my computer on top of my microphone cable. Let me fix this. A second. First a smile. "Thank you for your hospitality, Vellexia, but I doubt that you'll find me very interesting. Things have changed since my last visit. I am a different person now." "I have to warn you, Vellexia is much more dangerous than she looks. She knows how to be amicable, but it's only a pretense. Her friendly demeanor is as fake as everything else in this city." It's more leaves. Shit. "If you look behind the mask, you will see someone who is old, cruel, and utterly insane. Someone who adores random acts of senseless violence. Trust me, I used to know her in my past life. Everyone talks a lot about you in Illusioneer. Who on games?" "I don't know what you're talking about, Lady Vellexia." Arueshalae does her best to sound polite, but you can tell that she's scared. Arueshalae is not like you. She doesn't play those demon games anymore. Her feelings, whatever they may be, are real. "You're right, thank you for reminding me," Arueshalae whispers. It's time to talk to Arueshalae. "I've been thinking, well, what I'm trying to say is..." Extremely embarrassed, Arueshalae's voice becomes progressively quieter until you can barely hear what she's saying. "It's alright. Don't be afraid. Whatever you want to say to me, I won't be mad at you." "I know that. Thanks." After several deep inhales and exhales, Arueshalae finally pulls herself together and bursts out, "I need to go back to my dream, and come with me, please. You look so sweet when you're all shy." Pouting, Arueshalae looks down. "Can I figure out what to do with the table?" "No, it remains a mystery to me. But another idea, something I can't do alone. I thought, this is going to sound odd. I doubt dreams even work like this, but what if I try to fall asleep inside my dream? Oh, to dive deeper into the dream world. What could I find there? What if that's where the answer to my questions are hidden? What if it's Desna herself, or even me, the real me?" But the problem is, Succubus blushes again, her voice dropping to a barely audible whisper. "That's where the nightmare. Someone will have to guard my sleep. Someone who won't get scared of what is to be seen there. Someone who knows what kind of monster it used to be. It still accepts me. Someone..." "Yes, will you help me right now, or else I won't ever work up the courage again?" "Of course I'll help. Let's go." Hot fingers touch your hand, and both of you immediately fall into a dream. I think I just can't put myself to any sexual advancements towards her, even kissing. Arueshalae's dreams is still empty. The faint smoky smell of burnt dreams still lingers in the air. Arueshalae throws a cautious glance into the darkness where her nightmares lurk. "There is nothing to see. Right now, they're there, I know it," she says in an almost inaudible whisper. You sit leaning back against the mysterious table. Arueshalae lies her head on your lap. You see the fearfulness in her eyes. "They'll come. You know it. Don't let them get me, please." Dr. Zip ignored you. "Thank you." She closes her eyes and falls asleep instantly. It's the first time you've ever seen her sleeping. Her face is unmarked by sadness, worry, or embarrassment. Sleeping within her dream, Arueshalae seems at peace and completely innocent. She's so beautiful, isn't she? You can barely make out the features of the shadow standing before you. A sturdy man in his 40s is in a rusty mail shirt. His eyes are two gaping holes, oozing with pus. More than anything in the world, I love watching her. She knew that. That's why she took my eyes. Do you believe me? Holy shit. I do. You believe shadows, dreams, demons, nightmares, your gullibility will be the end of you, as it was the end of me. More and more shadow emerge from the darkness, their bodies deformed and mutilated. "We don't care about you. We are dead. We're not even here." Oh, I tell a lie. We're not part of reality anymore, but now we're right here with you. Shadow points his fingers at the sleeping girl's temple, as if taking aim with a crossbow. "And this is the place we'll never disappear from. She'll not forget me. She won't forget any of us. Won't ever forgive herself for what she did. The head of this monster is a haunted house. If you're going to be with her, you'll have to share this burden." Guilt, regret, memories. Think hard. Do you really want her and all this baggage? With me, she'll make new memories. One of good deeds and happy days. She will, but we'll spoil those too. A shadow emerges from the crowd. It looks somehow different from the others. It is a young woman in a loose robe with the sacred symbol of a butterfly on her chest. She looks dark, not like the darkness of despair, but like the night sky. You think back to when Arueshalae told you her story. You were both standing next to a grave. This must be the priestess whose death prompted Arueshalae's redemption. After our encounter, after Arueshalae killed me and then realized how much evil she had wrought throughout her life, she fled to a desolate place. She hoped that being far from humans would help her avoid temptation. But all isolation can do is help her unlearn her evil ways. Who, if not humans, can help her learn kindness and love? She hoped that being far from humans would help her avoid temptation. But all isolation can do is help her unlearn her evil ways. Who, if not humans, can help her learn kindness and love? Okay. Priestess looks at you searchingly, her eyes twinkle like stars. So this is you whom she chose to be her guide in the world of mortals. I hope she made the right choice. Your eyes shine like stars. Tell me, are you really just a servant of the great dreamer? Or maybe your... The shadow's twinkling eyes look directly into your soul. Her mysterious smile, she brings her fingers to her lips. Are you the priestess who Arueshalae buried near the grates? Arueshalae murdered you. Don't you hate her for that? I became her last crime. Her first step on the path to redemption. The last one she murdered and the first one she felt sorry for. I'm a sorrowful memory, but there is no hatred in me. Of course I don't wish her any harm. Are the priestess who Arueshalae buried near the grave gates? At least it is her image that I wear. Just her memory, bitter, painful, but still bright. I'm regrets, but I also hope. On the path that Arueshalae has taken, I'm her sorrowful guiding star. Tell me, what is your name? Priestess makes an apologetic gesture. How can I tell you something she doesn't know? How can I help her find redemption? You are her sorrow, her conscience, her cruel companions who tormented her in exile. But you can become her happiness, which aids her way for her old crimes. But you should show her what she has never known, either in the abyss nor in the wastelands. You've done so much for her already. You've shown her friendship, camaraderie, taught her to do great things, but now you have made her dream of something more, something that is both beautiful and deadly. Can I become the one who will show her how to love? If you're not sure you're willing to follow this path all the way through, you had better step back now, before you break her heart. If you are not sure you're willing to follow this path all the way through, you had better step back now, before you break her heart. I love her and I want to be with her. You love me? Arueshalae looks up at you, her ruby eyes wide open. Her thin lips part and she moves closer to your face. She forces herself to freeze. Her hot breath burns your cheek. What? Holy shit! Her thin lips part and she moves closer to your face. Her forces herself to freeze. Her hot breath burns your cheek. The shadows step aside. And vanish into the darkness. The dream dissipates. The last thing you hear is the priestess' voice saying, "Take care of her." Okay, so I cannot try to kiss her to do anything. She will back off. Oh my god, what a beautiful, beautiful thing. The dream has faded away and you are in the real world again. Arueshalae looks at you embarrassed, trying to find the word was, Thank you for being with me in there. What I said back there in the dream, it's true. I believe you, and I want you to know that you are so... Blushing, she drops her eyes. Smiles to me. What did you see in your dream? Nothing, I expected to go to another, deeper part of the dream world, but I just slept. No dreams at all. I didn't see or hear anything at all. Only at the very end I did hear your voice. But it was the most important thing I have ever heard. Are you going to go back to the dream world? Perhaps, I don't know yet. There's nothing there. Perhaps I don't know yet. There's nothing in there after all. I guess I'll go back when I have a good reason to. Until then, let's just live in the real world. Come back to reality. Thank you. I think I think I know now why mortals compare the happiest moments of their lives to dreams. Okay, now, any new conversations with her? Things I said to you in the dream, I hope they did not cause any more inappropriate thoughts. Didn't mean to tempt you so. Not at all, quite the opposite. When you first said it, I think I understood that what that word meant for the first time in my life. It might have awoken hunger or malice in me in the past. Right now I only feel happiness. The Succubus gives you a shy smile. Admit you're a disgrace to the entire demon race. Arueshalae's eyes flash with a dark, burning rage. Who are you, girl, to lecture me about the abyss? You're nothing more than a slab of meat yourself, a half-mortal perversion of your father. You're not even a real demon, so don't you dare! The Succubus stops short, and the fire in her eyes disappears. She gasps, horrified. Oh no! What am I saying? Please, just give up.
I don't belong to the Abyss. I believe in Desna. I believe in mortals. And in the right to dream of something greater than being dominated by monsters like you.
As she stands before this demon lord of the abyss, some innate instinct forces Arueshalae to her knees. She bows her head, compelled to show her reverence and submission to the authority. But the succubus is scowling, and there's a stubborn glint in her eye. Slowly, as if bearing the weight of an entire mountain on her shoulders, Arueshalae straightens up and definitely faces down the demon lord.
Well done, sister. I've always believed in you. In the name of all the gods of light who protect Golarion, you tell that thing to piss off.
Holy shit! Arueshalae flinches and is about to leap away from the boy. The Qlippoths? Enemies of demons since time immemorial. When they come, death reigns. The Succubus looks at Zorges as if they were a venomous creature, but the fear in her eyes quickly gives way to shame. Forgive me, it is not your fault. Most mortals view me the same way as nothing but a monster. It was wrong for me to say that. There might still be another one. We're back on Golarion again. Will Desna keep you safe now? No, her gift did not come back. She's going to rescue me from danger anymore, but I am not afraid. I'm no longer alone. I have a life who won't let me die. I have friends now. I'll be watching you. I want to ask my companions for advice. What do you think about all this?
Your power came from the Abyss. That your beautiful soul has cleansed it of all evil. Don't reject this power, for you have already proved that you are worthy of it.
They have stumbled, they're criminals. But they're also mortals who have chosen to risk their lives in order to stop a demonic invasion. Surely that mitigates their guilt, at least a little. There's no need for trials or gallows. We should show mercy and give them a chance to atone for what they've done. Arueshalae, your opinion, best girl? Wonder, we are more than an army. We are crusaders, a holy brotherhood that protects this beautiful world from absolute evil. These people have committed a crime and need to be punished, but we can't treat them like common marauders. There can be no place for whips and gallows on this sacred march. Spare them, give them a chance to atone, as you did for me. You'll see it will work better than the most severe punishment. Arueshalae will give them a chance to redeem themselves. Thank you. I know better than anyone how strong the grip of sin can be, but if even I am able to fight it, then surely they are not without hope. I'm certain your mercy will raise the soldiers' spirits and serve as a worthy example. Reject evil and we'll accept you as our friends. Look at me, I am a succubus, but I've managed to save myself from the corruption of the abyss. You can do it too. Oh, Arueshalae. Hello, the succubus gazes at you despondently. She always speaks quietly, but now her voice is a barely audible whisper. In my dream, a fire destroyed almost everything. The only thing that survived was a table. I returned to my dream world so many times, the nightmare still lurks there. But I want to understand why this table is so important. Why did it survive the fire? I can't figure out what makes it special. It looks like a simple piece of furniture. It just stands there. What is it supposed to mean? What am I doing wrong? Is your nightmare still attacking you? Not openly, it still lurks in the shadows, gnawing at my soul from within. It never leaves me alone, but it hasn't tried to fight me again. Would you like to enter your dream again? I don't think that will help. We've already been there together and... No. It must be something else. I must look at it from a different side. But how do you find the other side of a dream? The other side of a dream is called reality. Perhaps this table represents something that you are supposed to do in real life? You might be right. Brightens. Exactly, but what exactly should I do? Find a table? Buy one? Perhaps I should learn the craft to a carpenter and make one myself? So many possibilities and I don't even know where to begin. Where did this table come from? Where did it come from? I remember now. Oh, there was a loaf of bread on that table. That was Anivia's dream, remember? She said she wanted to learn how to bake. The bread went up in flames along with all the other fragments of her dreams, but the table remained. Perhaps Desna can help you solve this riddle? But she was the one who asked me to solve it. I don't think she's going to tell me the answer. I must find it myself, but how? If this table came from Anivia's dream, perhaps you should talk to her. I've been living among mortals for a while now, but there's still so much I don't understand about your kind. How you live, what you dream about. You're right, we should ask Anivia. It is part of her dream, after all. It's a good idea, but the Succubus shifts from foot to foot. She's right here. Anivia is here. She's listening. Could you please talk to her instead? She's literally listening to us right now. I don't even know how to begin a conversation like this. It is so personal. Please ask her, and I will stay nearby. Do you remember when I asked you about your dream? You said you wanted to learn how to bake bread. Could you tell me more about that? Is this for Arueshalae? I can see you. You can come out. Come on out. Eva smiles at the half-hidden Succubus bashfully emerging from her hiding place. Now isn't that better? Anyway, back to bread. Eva sighs pensively, her eyes gazing into the distance. I was just a little snot-nosed kid. My mom hid me from our enemies in a temple of Desna. Nidal, one of the oldest surviving countries I've done. My birthplace is a horror show. If it crumbled onto the sea tomorrow, I'd throw a party. But the temple was a tiny oasis of peace and calm. Hidden away inside all that, folks in the temple knew how to laugh. They'd sing songs like they did in their native world. And in the mornings, they'd bake the most fragrant bread in the whole world. I could barely see over the table, but I'd stand and watch as the cook mixed the dough, formed into rounds, and put them in the oven. It's the happiest memory of my life. Well, of the crappy part of my life, up until I met Beth, of course. Then, when I built on that, I did all kinds of scummy jobs. I crawled through marshlands, I scrambled over rooftops, I waded through sewers. I spied, I tracked, I killed. That memory was the thing that kept me going when I was sitting up to my eyeballs in gore or dragging myself through the slums with an arrow in my side. I remember the smell of the bread, the crunch of the crust, how it burned my little fingers. I remember how happy I was back then. Commander, have you thought about what you'll do after we begin? I mean, once we smash the demon's clothes, the wood wound, hung up our weapons, what then? I know what war will be well and truly over the morning I get up, mix up and dough, and put it in the oven. I'm gonna sit there and watch it rise, and then the smell of fresh bread will wake Rebeth, and she'll come into the kitchen, and I'll break her off a steaming, fragrant piece. That's when I'll truly know in my guts that the crusade is over, that our peaceful life has begun. Arueshalae listens to Anivia with rapt attention. When Anivia finishes, the Succubus is silent for a long time, and then briskly wipes her eyes. Thank you, Anivia. Desna bless you. I think I understand now. I think I truly understand. Arueshalae turns to you. You see a sparkle of hope in her eyes again. Something that's been missing ever since you last visited the world of dream. Hello, we need to go there again, to the dream world. I know how to solve the riddle. Please come speak to me in private as soon as you can. Waiting for your answer, Arueshalae walks. Let's go to your dream. Let's do it. Can't wait to finally solve this riddle. Oh, but there's a glimpse of concern appears on Succubus' eager face. My nightmare is still in there. Usually it doesn't show up at all, but I think he will attack us when we start altering the very nature of my dream. Better get ready for battle. I'm ready. Arueshalae touches your hand and the real world fades around you. Arueshalae dream seems even darker and emptier than before. The smell of smoke and ash lingers in the cold air. You can't see the nightmare, but you can feel it watching you from the dark. The Succubus approaches the table reverently, as if approaching a holy altar. Then she hesitates. And doesn't ask me, what do you dream of? I didn't know anything about dreams. I've been trying to... Oh, she's double. Oh no, everybody's double. I've been trying to imitate mortals, but I've never really understood what I was doing. I filled my dreams with so many things, but now I understand why they all burn so easily. They were not real dreams, but how should I put it? Mortals don't actually dream about objects, they dream about ideas. Filling my dreams with those items was like stealing a roadside sign for its stake and claiming I had an entire town in my hands. Maybe it's really dreaming about a loaf of bread, who dreams about a whole new life. A life where there's no war, a life where she lives in her own house and bakes bread for her beloved. I'm sure that if I asked anyone about the things I stored here, they'd tell me why those things are in their dreams' words. The words where they find happiness. Did any of those words give you any ideas about how to find your own dream? But I can try to help you understand your dreams. Yes, you may be the only one who can. I don't think anyone in the universe knows me better than you. This table didn't burn, because it's a part of my true dream. A part of the world where I am happy. Now I just have to find out what this world looks like. Arueshalae closed her eyes. The world of my dreams is so close. I can almost see it. Almost. A teapot is on the table. Oh shit, the fucking thing is there already. Arueshalae whispers quietly. You can barely hear her words. But as she speaks, the wood changes around you. The smell of smoke and ash is replaced by the fragrant aroma of freshly brewed tea. The teacups are full, and steam is rising from them. There's a spot of spilled jam, cookie crumbs. I must have baked cookies. Okay, there's a lot of things on the table. Plan to drink some tea? A hissing voice full of bitter hatred can be heard in the darkness. You used to drink souls before. How many living souls did you kill, you fiend? How many did you torture to death? You don't deserve a life like this. I've done many terrible things. Arueshalae's voice is quiet but firm. I've ruined many lives, and I'll be paying for that as long as I live. I will fight until we close the wood wound, and even after that, as long as there is evil in Golarion. But I will not give up on my dream, whatever it is. Without it, I won't have the strength to fight. I'll make you pay with your life. Okay, finally I can shoot somebody? Arueshalae stops to catch her breath. These nightmares will never leave you alone. I know that I deserve them, but is it so hard to fight them off over and over again? Are you feeling alright? I am, I guess, as much as I can be in the current situation. Let's continue. Philly closed her eyes again. God damn it, there comes them. Surrounding the table, I see a house. A large, spacious kitchen. A ray of sunlight coming through the window, the branches of apple trees swaying outside. Let's Paul, you want to have a house of your own, my venomous butterfly. Dilmachio's charred, ghostly face twisted with hatred. You've deprived me of my home twice. First you took Elysium from me, then I found myself a new refuge in the abyss, but you've destroyed that too. And now you dare to dream of your house of your own? I have wronged you badly and I feel guilty. I'm not trying to make excuses. There's nothing I could say that would excuse what I've done. But you are dead, Dilmachio. I will never forget you, but I will not let you take my life. You don't have the right to live. Let's go round 2, I guess. You're so close to... Arueshalae looks pale as she wipes away the sweat and tears from her face. You're so close to finding your dream. You're almost there. Yes, I want to see it through to the end. Kitchen, a teapot on the table. Let's sit at the table. Look, that's me. Kitchen, a teapot on the table, and who's sitting at the table? Look, that's you and me. We're chatting, laughing. You're holding my hand with such tender affection. How can I hold your hand? It's like I'm dosing now. So this is my dream all this time. My dream has been about you. About a house that we could call our own. About friendship. No, about love. Maybe even family. Family. Isn't that the word mortals use to describe the people who fill them with happiness? People they love and can live without? You can't be happy, you scum. You don't deserve happiness. Nightmare's hiss grows into a deafening roar. I will be happy, she looks the monster straight in the eye. Do whatever you want to me, but my dreams are mine forever. What the fuck?
I just want to live here. In the world of mortals. With you. I have solved the goddess's riddle. This is my true dream.
Monster is gone, and
all is peaceful once more. The smell of freshly baked cookies wafts through the air, and steam rises from cups of hot, fragrant tea that have been set out on the table. Arueshalae gazes around her longingly. You have never seen her so happy. Dude, why her lips are cracking?
I love you. Will you be with me? Will you share my dream?
Arueshalae's slender body is bathed with a kaleidoscope of colors. For a moment, she is completely surrounded by hundreds of fluttering blue butterflies. She stares at you with shining eyes. Even if we ever have a home of our own, wherever we wind up, in a castle or in a leaky tent, we'll be together.
Who knows how and when this war will end, or what lies ahead of us. But you and I will face every twist of fate together.
Okay, now the waifu is mine, finally. What happened to you? How do you feel? Kiss Arueshalae. Can I fucking kiss her now? Okay, I finally could fucking kiss her. Jesus. Without her going, like, away. Her lips tremble slightly, but she returns your kiss eagerly. She's being careful, gentle, trying not to hurt you. However, once she realizes that you remain unharmed, her timidity gives way to desire. The former Succubus has long shown incredible restraint, suppressing her passions for years, but now, as her lips meet yours, she holds nothing back.
This is our happiness, our dream, an Elysium of our own.
The scent of flowers hangs heavy in the air, and a jubilant melody fills your ears. Arueshalae kisses you again and again as she whispers. The dream world fades away, but Arueshalae is still in your arms. The kiss you share in the dream now continues in reality. She presses up against you, and you can feel the heat of her body beneath clothes. Take Arueshalae to your private study. Let's go somewhere no one will bother us.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, now she's normal, right? Now she's not going to freak out. As soon as you close the door of the study, the two of you fall into each other's arms, and time ceases to exist. Oh, my studies is with green now. I haven't noticed this. You explore every inch of her skin and her body. Once an instrument of torture and murder, becomes a vessel overflowing with tenderness and joy. When she reaches the peak of pleasure, you smell the fragrant flowers from her dream. As she moans in the light, the room becomes a garden filled with wondrous plants of Elysium. Oh shit, that's real.
As a succubus, well, I've done plenty of things in my lifetime. But what we just did was unlike anything I have ever experienced. It was the first time I've ever felt love and tenderness.
Arueshalae sighs in contentment. She breathes in deeply, inhaling the fragrance of the flowers.
I was so worried that my dream world was the only place I would find redemption. I was afraid that when I returned to reality, I would be a bloodthirsty monster again. But you taught me to see the difference between dreams and reality. The difference between thoughts and deeds. You showed me the importance of the real world. When I took the first steps on this path to redemption, I spent so much time living inside my own head. But you changed that. You introduced me to the mortal world. You made me a part of your life. And together, we have accomplished so many amazing things.
I don't want to leave. I want to stay here with you.
I know, I feel the same. But the real world is waiting for us. So big, and yet so fragile. We'll save it. Together.
Save the world.
And then we'll come back here, to a place as real as our happiness. We'll return to our very own Elysium.
We can stay here together a little longer, can we? There's nothing but leaves in for a kiss. And then, oh, did it hurt you? I didn't mean to. What are the other conversations? Suddenly everything there was to know about carnal pleasures turns out I'm only starting to learn. It's too wonderful. I think I'm about to cry now. Really overshadowed the wonders of exploring travel from you? In the past I did not travel, I hunted, I saw no wonders. I did not understand the delight of walking the road, seeing new places, or making new acquaintances. So you have surely seen more than I have, because I could not see, my eyes were closed. Back when I used to live in the Abyss, I didn't know anything about the connection between children and their parents. So you don't understand it completely, but I have seen how important it is to mortals. Don't demons have anything of their own making, only hideous parodies of all the good and all the bad that there is in a mortal's life? Hypothesis some angels are of plant origin. Angel of light, what has that monster done to you? Arueshalae looks at the hand of the inheritor in horror. I've seen those who have fallen low because of their own foolishness. Because of others' temptations, my own temptations, but you never even had a choice. You have not made a single mistake, yet you have been corrupted by brute force. Horny, Arueshalae, try to change your nature and succeeding. How does it feel? I feel reborn. I'm a whole new person now, and the world around me seems remade too. It has always been hunter be hunted for me. I never wanted to be the one who hunts, yet I am a predator by nature. So I had to restrain myself all the time to avoid destroying everything around me. I had the eyes of a monster, and they could only see pain and suffering. I couldn't even imagine that there were so many wonderful, beautiful things in the world. I'm still unable to understand many of them, but I will change and will come to understand everything. What's going on with your nightmares? Do they still haunt you? Yes, they do, and that's how it should be. I myself have changed, but my past will haunt me forever. All the evil things that I did, I have lots of debts to pay. I have no right to forget them, and my nightmares won't allow it. The answer to Desna's riddle turned out to be surprisingly simple. Yes, but it was not about the answer itself at all. What if someone told me something like, Arueshalae, you need friends at the very beginning of my journey? Of course I needed them. This revelation would not have helped me at all back then. It took me several decades of haphazard wandering in order to understand how dreams work and what I should do with them. The answer was simple, yes, but this journey was the actual lesson the goddess wanted to teach me. Now we know that you can love like we mortals do. How does it feel? She blushes. This feeling is wonderful, yet terrifying. This is why demons are unable to fall in love. Their evil turns them into cowards. To love someone is to open up to the other person. To trust them completely. It means lowering all your shields, knowing that your beloved won't hurt you. Now I understand. She smiles. Now I love you. Shall we spend some time in private? Let's see this. Girl takes your palm in her hands, brings it to her lips, gives it a light kiss accompanied by a tender smile. Let's go. Okay, and then she's here, and then I talk. No more fear, just freedom and happiness. There's more lines. You are my Elysium, my freedom and my happiness. More fear. I thought I knew everything there was to know about carnal pleasures. Turns out I'm only starting to learn. Did I hurt you? I didn't mean to. This is too wonderful. I think I'm about to cry. No, that's new. Just give me the go ahead. Has every woman I've truly turned to stealing? Just can't believe it. But if we have no choice, you know, war has claimed many lives. Deserted villages, abandoned houses, manors of noble lineages that have been cut short. If they don't belong to anyone now, maybe we could take them? You could take abandoned property the looters haven't got to yet. Fortunately, I mean unfortunately, but it is fortunate for us anyway. I know for sure that there's a lot of it in Mendev right now. If we take it for the good of the crusade, it wouldn't be looting, would it? One knows the answers to all questions. Arueshalae shivers as it caught to a sudden shiver. I don't like it in here. This place, I feel the presence of something immense, terrible, and inescapably evil. Don't accept this offer, I beg you. Demonic gifts are always tainted by the corruption of the abyss. No power is worth the loss of your soul. Arueshalae.
There it is. The heart of the wound. The source of all the evil that has been wrought here over the last 100 years. It all began here. And we will end it here. If Areelu Vorlesh had never opened the world wound, I would never have ended up on Golarion. I would never have met Desna, or you. I would never have embarked on the path of good. The world isn't fair. Thousands of innocent mortals perished during this invasion. But it was also the catalyst for one demoness's discovery of goodness and love. This may merely be a quirk of fate, but it means that our happiness together has come at a horrifying cost. Today, we will repay but a fraction of that debt. We will close this abomination so that no one else has to die.
Our love is a refutation of everything the demons believe in. If they had any sense, they would flee this place as fast as they could.
Oh, I actually pity them. If only I could have shown them what I feel. If only I could have shared this goodness, this tenderness with them. I'm sure they would have started on the same path as I have. But if helping them to change is beyond my abilities, then I will have to do battle against them. I will let no one threaten you and our happiness. No one.
You defeated the abyss within yourself. After such a feat, routing its armies will be a breeze.
I did not do it alone. You have led your army to victory and me to my dream.
Now you're shouldering the guilt for all the victims of the invasion? Isn't that too much for one Arueshalae to handle?
It's not about guilt. It's just that I am ashamed to take any joy in my freedom, knowing that this terrible war was the cause of it. Everyone would have been better off if the world wound had never been opened. But then I would have remained a monster. Perhaps one day I will atone for all the evil I did. But it took a far greater evil to make my redemption even possible.
What are you going to do after we win?
You know what?
We're ready then to battle.
I am ready. Let the abyss tremble in fear.
What did she say? A playful smile blossoms on Arueshalae's lips, she whispers. Okay. Arueshalae had changed her nature, completely ridding herself of evil, but she would not dare to live among mortals. She took up residence in a small house away from their settlements. Shortly afterwards, rumors began to spread. Some said there was a kind sorceress living in the cottage, or perhaps a reclusive saint, and people would come to her asking for help. She never refused anyone, and in time she earned their trust and friendship. With each year, she spent more and more time in the dream world. The wondrous dreams where her beloved was alive came to replace personal interactions with living folk. She still helped those who came to her, but the chances of finding her at home grew smaller and smaller.